Okay, now I'm on my phone. See if my phone's audio works. I don't get that. That's really strange. Okay, great. That. Okay, I'm on my phone now. Can you hear me? Am I sideways? This is really weird. I'm very confused. This is so bizarre. I do not understand. Okay, we'll be upright. Can you hear me okay? Oh, good. At least my phone is working. I'm having a really good hair day. Jeez. What a dumb thing. Sorry for that. And you guys are amazingly patient. Thank you. Anyway, I can see your chats. Yeah, I'll leave it upright. I can see your chats. I'm going to try to get this to a good place. There we go. Yeah. It's on my phone, so I'm not going to be able to just tap out a response because I don't want to give you vertigo. But I'm happy to answer any questions. But I'm going to give you a bit of an update on some things, and I'm going to really apologize for coming in late. I will do another one. Dadgummit. I'll do another one next week, and I'll figure out what the frick happened to my audio on the web, on the desktop. So a couple of things. What the writing stuff, it just, let me leave that aside. I've done a few things. See, Rob, there you go, 9 p.m. Good job. Life has been a little busy, stressful. I have been trying to find a way to take care of my mental health better, and my physical health better. I know how to take care of my physical health better, and that is get more sleep, stop staying up late, probably eat less crap. Except I like staying up late and eating more crap. So it's hard, but I'm working on that. Mental health wise, I'm just trying to not be stupid busy. I'm trying to not feel like I've always got to be doing something. And that's really hard for me because I have spent a lot of my life always doing something. And I felt good. I felt good about it. I absolutely thrive on achievement and on achieving things and getting stuff done and being uber productive. I've always been uber productive. But I am concerned that my motivations weren't right. And I'm concerned about kind of how obsessive I could sometimes be. And I'm really concerned about balance in my life. I want to make sure I'm not overextending in areas. And so, but I worry that I'm also overthinking all that and I should just buckle down and do work. Because here's the thing. I have not been able to write for kind of a while. And that's hard to say and hard to accept, the fact of it, because I have always prided myself on being uber productive. I have a class on ways to kill your productivity enemies, and I'm not killing my productivity enemies. So, bye, whoever left. Thanks for sticking around for a second. So it's hard. I don't know what my deal is right now. I think I'm scared, to be honest. I think I'm scared of all the work I need to do, and my very strong desire to get it exactly right. Even though I know better. Hey, Rob, thank you for coming back. I appreciate that. Anyway, So the admission, of course, being that I haven't written anything in kind of a long time, and that's really concerning. The last thing I creatively wrote that was a piece of work, start to finish, was a short story um, called, let's see, I think I wrote, yeah, Passenger to Carthage. And I wrote that after I wrote Finding Home, which is the second book in the Finding Home series. And see, I'm pulling back the curtain here, and it's weird, and I hope it's not depressing. I really don't want it to be, but I got to be real. So these are for behind the scenes Q&As. Um, yeah, that's the last thing I wrote, and that was over a year ago. It got honorable mention in Writers of the Future. Um, and the story I wrote before that, Wish I May. I wrote Wish I May, then I slammed out Finding Home, and then I did Passion to Carthage a little while after. I Wish I May got silver honorable mention in the Writers of the Future, which is great. At this point, I am certain that I no longer qualify to be involved in Writers of the Future. Unfortunately, it's a lot of fun. It's a good contest, and there's a nice accountability factor to it, to writing things. But I'm pretty sure I've sold enough copies and made enough money that I need to stop. Hi Pikachu. I don't know Pikachu. I cannot do backflips, particularly right now. I cannot do a backflip, but I could never do a backflip in my entire life. Um, what a random question. Pikachu, I know you can. Pika Pika. So I feel pretty guilty, honestly, and it's not the productive guilt about not having written for so long, especially since I have so many projects I'm supposed to be working on. I have a cookbook I'm trying to put together. I'm trying to combine talks and articles that I've written in the church into a book that I can just give out to people. I'm slowly getting convinced by some friends to sell it for really cheap on Amazon, really cheap. I don't. It feels a little bit like Priestcraft. So if I get to the point and it just feels too much like Priestcraft, I will not sell it. I'll just give it away. Um, I also have what is currently titled From the Heart, which is the third book in the Finding Home series. But I need to outline it. Yeah, see, Rob, I think you're in a great spot for that, and I'm so glad that you're doing great with that because it's mature and it's right and it's good and thumbs right up, two thumbs up. But I am a writer. This is me. This is a huge part of who I am as being a writer. Um, and I'm a writer who doesn't write right now, and that doesn't feel right. And I know it's actually bad for my mental health. But there are other things I'm trying to do for my mental health and for my also the people around me um, that I have to prioritize. I have to prioritize my family. I have to prioritize the fact that I'm a stay-at-home parent of kids. Two who graduated. We've graduated 4 kids since I turned into stay-at-home parent. All of the kids who've been graduated have graduated while I've been doing this job. And it's not only to do to me, but I've been the primary homemaker for during this time. One of them was our adopted child, who wasn't easy to get through high school at all. Um, but she's getting off to college, and we're trying to get her ready to go to college without doing all the work for her. And the other girl is going to stay in the house, and we've also got a homestay Japanese girl who's the daughter of our best friends from Japan, who was born just a few months after our oldest son, who was born in Japan. They were like sort of playmates. Babies don't really play with each other, right? Um, but she's staying with us for the next. I think she's been here for 3 weeks. She's got another 5 weeks to go. There's just a lot, and then there's being bishop. And it's not like that keeps me insanely busy because I've gotten really good at delegating and asking others to do things. Although I'm still very active in this calling, I'm very very active. I will do what I need to do. I'll go where I'm supposed to go, be where I'm supposed to be. Of course, just like the hymn. But it's all pretty heavy. It all weighs down and it tires me out. And I have goals around health, physical health, and exercise, and getting enough sleep. And there were some unexpected expenses, and have been a series of unexpected expenses. over the last year and a half or so. And my wife's her her job does pay the bills, but every so often these unexpected expenses kind of burst the rhythm there. And yes, I know I won a game show, but we earmarked all that money super quick, and it went where it needed to go pretty quick. We wanted to get value before it stopped being good, which doesn't make any sense probably. But like a good port, almost 10% of it, well, more than 10% of our take home went into retirement. Um, well over half of our take home went into the house, updating a lot of stuff, updating our bathroom, our bedroom, our closet, updating almost all the lighting, updating our water heater system, and quite a few other things. So, yeah, and we're stuff outside anyway, and we got a new TV, and we also did some travel. So I know I won that money, but it's all earmarked and put where it needs to be, and we can't take any more money out of it because we owe the IRS a bunch of money come tax time. So, anyway, at least we're earning interest on that, right? Um, so there's just always been so much on my plate lately, and it feels like a really good reason for me not having written for so long. And I do not feel bad at all. There's no guilt about prioritizing my family and my church calling over writing. There's no guilt whatsoever. There's no shame. There's no ill feeling about that in any way, shape, or form. But I can see from my view, my perspective, that there are times I could be writing and I'm not. And it's really damn irritating, pardon my French. And I need to get it done, and I need to get back into the groove. Um, and I'm very frustrated with myself. So that's the writing career as it stands right now. If you have any questions, please do ask them in the chat. I'll monitor that as I go. I don't want to bore you. I don't want to make you feel too bad for good old Jared. I also had a minor surgical procedure done today, which leaves a bit of soreness for a couple of days, and I'm icing the area. Um, it was very minor. I'm not under the weather or in any kind of danger. It was just a needful thing. The time had come to take care of something that needed to be done for some time. So it got done today, and there's some soreness. So there's no backflips. Excuse me. Hmm. Anyway, um, let's see. I think that I committed to something last time and I forgot it because, boy, my brain can't be trusted, my friends. It cannot be trusted. It's hysterical. I Anyway, I would welcome your thoughts on or anything that would help me get work done. Oh yeah, James said, oh, that's right. I was going to finish outlining and I didn't. Thank you, James. You have a good, sharp memory. So the goal is that I'm supposed to outline from the heart. What I'm hoping is the last book in the series for Finding Home, but I don't see how it can be the last book in the series of Finding Home because I think that From the Heart needs to end not great, a good ending, a right ending, but not the ending for the characters. And so I sometimes think maybe I need to do a fourth book, but I'm daunted by that because I want to just get this done. But if I want to just get it done, maybe I should just start writing it. You know, it's that's part of the thing is that I want to get it right, right? I'm trying to tell a very autobiographical story. So I want to get it right, but I also want to tell a really interesting, fun story, enjoyable story that's true to the characters that are somewhat departing from me a little bit in some ways, um, but are also still staying true to kind of who I was growing up and stuff. So anyway, I'm not sure what to do other than just do it. Certainly, you can't wait for motivation, right? You can't wait for the muse to show up. You have to just go do it. And so at some point, I'm going to just do it. Um, yeah, so you're exactly right, Rob. Perfect is the enemy of the good. It's the enemy. It really is. And Kurt Vonnegut, he said it really. He said it really well in that kind of meme letter that's gone around on the internet. I saw it again today. Do art for the sake of art. And that's what another thing I worry about, but I don't worry about it much because things, but I do art for the sake of art and don't worry about showing it to people. Certainly do art and do it badly, you know, and then do it better, by doing it more and more. He's right and you're right, and perfect is absolutely the enemy of good, and perfect is actually 100% the enemy of productivity. Maybe I need to read Pressman's The War of Art again. Maybe that would fire me back up. But that's the thing. I know I have it in me to just buckle down and do it. And so I need to just dive in and do it. You're right. Um, for too long, I worried about my motivation for all this. But I don't really much anymore. I mean, I do want my books to be read and I want them to be enjoyed. I want to get some validation from my readers, which is great. I really do, and I get some of that, and it's wonderful. Um, but I know that I have to write. I know that that's important to me, that it's like core to who I am. One of my core features, you could say, is telling stories, writing stories. And I don't feel right in this world. I feel like my steps are a little off kilter, like a little twisted here or twisted there as I walk through life without writing stories, which I have been doing for the last couple years, mostly. It doesn't feel correct, and so I need to get back to it. But I also have to be forgiving of the fact that I have had other priorities keeping me from it. So James, you've got winter and darkness serve a purpose in the growth cycles of many organisms, and that's correct. And then reading can be a catalyst. Maybe that gives me that motivation. You're right. These are great suggestions, actually, and you really are right. I should give that a try. So let me. It's getting a little noisy. My family's coming home, and my daughters have friends over. Excuse me a second. I can't really get up right now. Ow. Okay, that's a little better. I'm not really supposed to stand as much as I've been standing. I made dinner today. I shouldn't have. Anyway, um, I'm not worried about my motivation, and I don't feel bad about prioritizing other things. But I do feel guilt that I have not taken the time to actually write, because I know I can make the time to do it. I know I can. 100%. I know I can. So um, I am afraid of not being perfect. I think that's what it is, Rob. Haha, good man. Master of None, beat 3. Oh boy. You're not the first person who's asked me about that. Beat 3. So like beat, push, next, verb, single verb, word verb. Um, I have thought about a third book in that series. I worry about doing another book in that series though, because I feel like I worry that I would pull a Scott Westerfeld, who did the Uglies series, and that whole Uglies series is fantastic dystopian fiction. It is glorious. It's like some of the better modern, more modern dystopian fiction. He wrote another one, like a fourth book, which doesn't fit. It doesn't work very well. It's a big time jump. Um, oh, that's cute. So it's got a big time jump. It's the characters are not as accessible. They're not as familiar. The tenderness that I felt for the characters in the original books was gone. So if you know the Beat series, you know how Push ends, and I'll address that in a second. Excuse me. Um, in any case, I worry that if I wrote another book in this series, it would feel so. If I were able to make it Nick and Melissa off on their adventure, which starts at the end of Push, um, I feel like it might be shoehorned. But the imagination is big, and I love that world, and I have let myself percolate a little bit on what they find. Maybe that's the next book in the series, or the last book in the series, or another book in a multi-series series for this world. I don't know for sure, but the story that is started in Beat is completed in Push, fully completed in Push. Right, the conflicts, the villains, the objectives. It's done. So that series is done, but there may be another book or more books. I might tell more stories or something in that universe. So Yeah. Anyway, let me see if I can pull this up and make sure I'm not missing anything. Yeah. Okay. I can't see it. That's okay. Um, was there any other questions or any other thoughts? Maybe keep about enforces transition as well. Yeah. So I mean, see, there's the thing. Are you aware of Keepers, the short story I wrote from my old publisher, which I don't, I'm not allowed to really mention them in public. Um, they made a, yeah, they made an anthology of short story world extensions from sci-fi fantasy books that they had published, and they tried to do it as a marketing ploy, and it was really a failure. Um, my story is really fun, actually. I liked it a lot. It I worried at the start as I was trying to write it that it was going to be really shoehorned, but it turned out I'm really happy with it. I like that short story a bunch. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see, we'll see. But the thing is, if I do put that on my list of things to write, it's kind of low on the priority list because I have. Maybe that's the problem. So I've got Finding Home series, and I have to prioritize that. I want to get it done, and put it away because it's a story that just needs to be done. And then I need to actually and then I need to outline the Dragon Scale Posse series so that I can continue writing that series. So I need to outline the series. I need to edit the first book, Showdown at Serpent Ridge, so that it is in alignment and leads properly to the next 2 to 3 or 4 books. And then I need to submit Showdown at Serpent Ridge to the last few publishers I'm going to try with, and then I'll take it and do it myself. Shadow Mountain rejected it ultimately after a year and a half, but Lisa Mangum, the extraordinary human that she is, she had it for so long, so she actually gave me a big list of notes, um, and led off those notes with, "You have something really special here." That's glorious. It's the best thing anybody's ever said about my stuff who's been in the industry. Um, so that's pretty cool. But that's a series that I need to get the outline done before I can do the editing, because I need that book to be able to seamlessly move to the other books in the series. So there it is. You know what may really have kind of started the big block is that I prioritized pretty hardcore, um, beginning of the year, querying for my memoir. And let me give you an update on that, and then we'll just shut this down. Feel free to ask any final questions here too. But I queried 130 something agents. Let me grab the list here. Yeah, I queried a lot of people, and query materials. Very good. Memoir query tracker. I queried, dun 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 dun. Wait for it. 138 agents in the second big round that I did the querying. I did a bit of about 30 or 40 agent queries a year and a half ago or so, or before this, and then I did a bunch of these at the beginning of the yearish, and have gotten only rejections except for in one case. Somebody asked for the whole manuscript, and I sent it to them. But I sent it to them some time ago and haven't heard back. Let me see if I can find who I sent it to. So I sent it there. They asked for the full in March, and I sent it next day. And here we are. I bumped up kind of a message through the messaging system that they have on the submission form. And I did that about a month and a half ago, and I still haven't heard back. So that's frustrating, but it was kind of cool. But it's the only full request I've ever had in my life for anything, except for one time, an agent asked for the full of Beyond the Cabin, and then I sent it to her, and then she left the literary agent world. So that's too bad. But yeah, this querying took such a long time to get it all done, and to get everybody sent to, and to have it done right and done well. When I finally buckled down, I got the big lion's share of the work done in 3 weeks, but it took me a while to warm up and get buckled down. And then that I just felt so completely shredded from that and gassed from it, especially kind of beaten down as the no's just roll in one right after the other. I think I'm at about 40 to 50 full, complete no's, just outright rejections, which is confusing to me, because the story has merit. It's written well. It's a very interesting story, but I'm not famous. Um, huh. I'm not famous and I don't have a platform. And I'm sorry, Rob, that my experience with querying quashed your hopes to write a memoir. I'm sorry. Maybe you should still write the story. Honestly, writing that memoir for me clarified a lot of stuff. It showed me where I've got some stuff wrong, um, where my narrative really wasn't jiving with reality. Which so that was very very helpful for me. It was super therapeutic in a few areas, as I kind of wrote. There's a chapter or two where I turned my audience to the cult, and give them um, a what for, you could say. So it was very therapeutic and very helpful. But it's kind of gutting that nobody will pick it up because I don't have enough of a platform. I'm not famous enough. Well, get me famous then. I mean, Tara Westover didn't have a platform. Is it because she's pretty? The book is ultimately fairly negative to a religion that is popular to beat up on in the public forum. I don't know, but she didn't have a platform, and she got a huge deal, and her book is still, I think, on the New York Times bestseller list. It's ridiculous. Glass Castle, same thing. She she wasn't famous, and then she was because her book was huge. I don't want to be famous. I don't care. I want a stream of income that I can rely on for my books. That's what I want. So anyway, that probably beat me up a lot and has been a bit of a thing to get over. Maybe I need to move on, huh? Okay, so this has been a down one. Okay, I do need to follow up on my Rocky Five chuckle. Okay, so alrighty, so the Rocky movies, man, I love them. I love them all. Some of them are a little flawed, a lot flawed, right? Rocky, the original, is a classic. It is extraordinary. It's one of the most important movies to me in my life. It 100% is formative to me. I mean, so much of what's in here comes from that movie and thousands of fantasy books. Um, Rocky 2, love it. I think it's a great follow up to Rocky. Just really, really outstanding. Rocky 3, of course, with Clever Lang. That's some extraordinary fight scenes. They do a really good job with those, and very serious, and really a great examination of heart, and of what can hold us back and what we let hold us back. Really, really good. I love it, and I love Win Rocky from Adrian Win. Glorious stuff. Rocky 4, of course, is Ivan Drago from Russia, and Rocky, of course, ends the Cold War. Good job. Rocky 5 being now Tommy Machine Gun, Gun, whatever. So Rocky they lose everything because Paulie, you know, invested very poorly, and they lost all their money. So they're a little destitute. They've got enough left to have a home back kind of in the old neighborhood. Um, Rocky's kind of burned on the fighting thing. He's also getting old, calcium in his joints and stuff. So he's not doing great. And there's some shaking. You could see that there's obviously some head trauma involved, and that's resulted from his fights. So he's ignoring his own kid. Although he teaches him how to punch, but then he ignores his own kid to the benefit of Tommy. This kid, he starts to train. Tommy is uber talented and uber mean and has no control, but he doesn't need to because he's so good. So he becomes an immediate superstar and is taken under the wing of a bad guy who's very Don King-esque. I mean, 100% taken from Don King. I think they were trying to point out flaws with Don King, which is useful, or at least accurate. So Rocky 5 is widely held to be a weak offering in the series, and they're not wrong. It feels a little smaller. It feels a little maybe they didn't go all in the way they ought to have, and I don't care. I like it. I like it a lot. I like the final fight scene. I'll sue you for everything you got. Boom! Sue me for what? I think it's great. It's unfortunate that the guy who plays Tommy isn't a very good actor, but he does his best. And anyway, so I quite like Rocky 5. It's not a dream sequence, man. Uh, it's good, and it's important to the rest of the movies. So losing viewers, that's fine. Rocky Balboa is my second favorite out of all of them. Rocky and Rocky Balboa are my two favorites. Rocky Balboa is a beautiful movie. It is an actually beautiful movie. Um, I'm going to read a quote to you, and then I'm going to sign off. In it, he's met his son, played by Milo Ventimiglia, um, and the son is being kind of Robert, the son Robert, is being kind of a stinker. He's been trying to get out of Rocky's shadow his whole life, and he finally lets Rocky have it. He lets his dad have it, and finally, Rocky says, "Let me tell you something. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean." I'm looking at a poster here. Rocky is very important to me. Okay. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is going to hit as hard as life, but it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward, how much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. That is magnificent. It is magnificent. How much you can take and keep moving forward. So, my friends, I'm going to leave you on that note. Thank you for tuning in. Your patience is astonishing, and your friendship is very valuable to me, and I adore you guys. Come back next time. I will schedule this for next week, and I will try to have my proper microphone properly working. I truly don't know what happened. Until next time, you guys are great. Thanks, Rob. Thank you, James. You're just neat guys. And I'll talk to you guys later, okay? See you later.